Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
It's referred to by some as a COVID pod, a new style of schooling in our new coronavirus reality.
Our plan is actually to take turns in different houses every day.
What exactly is a COVID pod, and how do you go about setting one up? I'll explain coming up.
A local police department trying to come up with new, thoughtful, creative ways to help someone who has had an overdose. It has nothing to do with police arresting that person, but police trying to plug that person into as much help as possible.
Okay, Sean, but we are going to begin with two breaking
news stories. The first reaction coming in as Joe Biden picks Senator Kamala Harris to be his running mate. Let's see if we get Kim's mic working again.
The decision caps weeks of speculation over who Biden would pick, with Governor Whitmer also being a contender.
Now, if elected, of course, Harris would be the nation's first female, first black, first Asian American vice president. Harris elected to the Senate in 2016 after serving as the Attorney General of California. She, of course, was a presidential candidate herself, often clashed, in fact, notably with Biden in the debates. But today, Biden said he needs someone working alongside him who is smart, tough, and ready to lead. Biden and Harris will appear together tomorrow in Delaware. Governor Whitmer tweeting out this just a short time ago: "I am extraordinarily proud to support Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. They will be a fierce team to build America back better." Whitmer will be speaking, by the way, at the Democratic National Convention, scheduled right now to speak on Monday evening of next week.
And the president of the NAACP says this decision breaks down barriers in historic proportions. Derek Johnson went on to say, quote, that it comes at a time in which Black Americans face dueling threats from a global health crisis, and ingrained racism is all the more powerful. The Republican National Committee called Harris a radical pick. Our other breaking story, the Big Ten making it official today. There will be no football Saturdays at the Big House or Spartan Stadium this fall.
Presidents at the Big Ten schools have voted to postpone the college football season, that in hopes that it can be played in the spring. But not just football. This postponement includes all fall sports and tournaments. Michigan's head football coach Jim Harbaugh reacted to the decision, saying he shares in the disappointment of his student athletes. Bernie will have more reaction coming up in just a bit in sports.
Tonight, police in Birmingham are looking for a hit-and-run driver while neighbors mourn the loss of a staple in the community.
A homeless man was killed crossing Woodward at Forest Street near Maple. As Rod Maloney shows us, that victim was well-known and well-liked by business owners in the area. Rod?
You know, we often hear that homelessness can happen anywhere, and here in well-to-do Birmingham, they knew very well, because there was a homeless man who frequented the neighborhoods and local stores, and many people knew him, gave him food. But over the weekend, he died, killed by a hit-and-run driver. It's a little too quiet these days inside the trendy Beyond Juice smoothie bar. The 40-year-old homeless man, who police are not publicly identifying just yet, would visit 5 or 6 days a week. Manager Mario Soto Garcia says while usually too preoccupied to have much of a conversation,
sometimes we feed him. He comes in the morning, we'll feed him breakfast. Through lunch, he'll just come in and just sit by the window and, just be there. Often, the man, whose family lives in Southfield, would try and pay, but his money wasn't any good here, and he had others around town who would look after him as well. Overnight Friday, the man died on Woodward Avenue at Forest Street. He crossed Woodward south of a crosswalk, and an SUV plowed into him. Police say this was the vehicle that hit him, a 2013 to 2017 dark-colored Chevy Traverse, likely sporting left front body damage along with a broken headlight. Police are collecting video camera pictures for a better description, and Michigan State Police are also helping enhance surveillance video that they already have of the incident. All this came as a shock to Mario. That's very sad that it happened to him.
What's more, Birmingham police say the driver did stop briefly, jumped back in the vehicle, sped off eastbound on Maple, and then doubled back and drove away northbound on Woodward.
They should come forward and, that's the right thing to do.
Once again, Birmingham police are saying if you know anything, if you've seen this car, if you have any information at all, give them a call. In Birmingham, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, Rod, a short time ago, Birmingham released photos of the victim and the SUV they're seeking. Police say the man killed is 40-year-old Wesley Stamps from Southfield, and his family released his photo with the hope that you can help find who hit him. This is the SUV that they are looking for right now, a dark Chevy Traverse with front driver's side damage.
All right, well, now to the state's coronavirus numbers and an increase of nearly 250 cases from yesterday. Michigan is reporting 796 new cases with 7 more deaths. More school districts in Metro Detroit are shifting to virtual learning to start the school year.
Dearborn Public Schools will start online, and then the district will reevaluate in September. Similar situation in South Lyon. School board voted to start the year online with the option of phasing in classroom learning if things should improve. Utica Community Schools offering 2 options, strictly virtual or a virtual start with the ability to transition to in-person learning a little later on. In Birmingham, parents and students are rallying as we speak, pushing for in-person learning. The district is planning on virtual learning to start the school year, but protesters outside Groves High School say they feel the district can find a way to safely return kids to the classroom.
Well, some families in Metro Detroit are turning to neighbors and other parents to help them get through homeschooling this fall. They're setting up pods in the pandemic. The idea is to get groups of students together in one place to learn remotely. Steve Garagiola shows us how 2 local moms are organizing their own pods.
When schools shut down in March, moms and dads had to scramble to continue their kids' education at home. For many families, homeschool will be the option this fall. And the memory of how confusing and stressful it was in the spring has made many of those parents determined there has got to be a better way.
I know that I need a break at least 2 to 3 days a week so that I can focus and get back to a better work-life balance routine, and I can be there for my kids more.
The new look of homeschool might take the form of what some refer to as a COVID pod.
It basically means that you get together with like-minded families, preferably within your school district and within the same age group or grade level.
Kendra and Margaret are moms who started a Facebook page to see if other parents in their neighborhood had interest in a shared learning experience.
45 families responded to my pod post and said, we're very interested.
There are as many different styles of COVID pod as there are families. Margaret's pod will have all the kids meeting at the same house every day.
One of the moms is actually a certified teacher and has offered to take care of a lot of the heavy lifting. I'm hopefully going to be the field trip mom.
Joanna says her child's pod will be mobile.
Our plan is actually to take turns in different houses every day. Monday, the kids might be at this mom's house. Tuesday, they might be at another mom's house. And our plan specifically is just a Monday through Thursday model.
All of the moms I spoke with say they plan to follow the online curriculum of their school district. And they have rediscovered something very positive in this new reality.
In some ways, this is a really good time because we are now working to kind of build these little communities, and a lot of us for many years have gotten away from that.
If there was ever a time when it takes a village, this is it. I'm Steve Garagiola, Local 4.
All right, Steve, with the school year fast approaching, more districts are announcing their decisions on in-person or virtual learning. We have it all broken down for you district by district on our website. Just go to clickondetroit.com, and we're always updating it when we get new information. And we also know many parents have questions, struggles, and challenges as they work to make the best decisions for their children. That's why Local 4 is holding an Education for All Town Hall Thursday at 7 p.m. on clickondetroit.com. Devin and Paula Tutman will be joined by education leaders to answer your questions. To make sure your voice is heard, please submit your questions right now on our website. Just go to clickondetroit.com.
Moments ago at his coronavirus briefing with news of the Big Ten's decision to postpone college football until spring, President Trump says he's hopeful the players will be able to take the field soon.
We want to get football in colleges. These are young, strong people. They won't have a big problem with the China virus. So we want to see college football start, and hopefully a lot of great people are going to be out there. They're going to be out there playing football, and they'll be able to fight it off, and hopefully it won't bother them one bit. Most of them will never get it.
We'll have much more from the president's briefing coming up on NBC Nightly News, which you'll see here at 6:30. A city in Macomb County taking a new approach to fighting the opioid epidemic.
Today, the Roseville Police Department announced a plan to reach out to people struggling with addiction and get them on the road to recovery. As Sean Lay reports, it's a program that's already proven successful in Sterling Heights.
Good evening from Roseville. We met a mom here today. She has 3 family members, 3 addicted to drugs. You could feel the weight of that on her shoulders. What she heard here today is giving her hope.
Well, my father, my brother, and my son have all struggled with substance use disorder.
Maybe you are like Aaron Whipkoff, who knows too deeply what it's like having a family member who is addicted to drugs.
Arresting our way out of the problem hasn't been working. They just keep seeing the same people over and over again, so now we want to offer people another way out.
In fact, Roseville police say they're seeing so many overdoses in Roseville. Homes from heroin pills, you name it. Families are stocking Narcan in the home themselves. Today, a new way of thinking for Roseville police. Now they arrive at an overdose not to arrest, not to investigate, but to offer up recovery teams from the group Families Against Narcotics, led by retired Clinton Township Judge Linda Davis.
Actually, the police, when we first started this, it was almost comical. They said, they're just going to slam the door in our face. They're not going to welcome us in. That has not happened a single time. They are just, because I think they're floored that somebody is actually there to help them.
Roseville Police Chief Ryan Monroe says all he has to do is look to Sterling Heights, where he says this new way of thinking is working.
They've had a 70% success rate getting people into recovery, which I believe is, it's so high I didn't even believe it at first. But he swears it's 70% of the times they go out, those people are going into recovery and getting the help that they need. And how can you not look at those statistics and want to do that in your own community?
So now, Roseville, Sterling Heights, there is a program like this in Taylor and a waiting list around the state. The judge says they want to expand. All it takes is state funding to make that happen. In Roseville, Sean Lay, Local 4.
All right, Sean, been a busy day, and we've still got more to come here at 6.
It really has. Let's go ahead and check in with Ben. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Kim and Devin. Yeah, if you had your Cheerios on the patio this morning, probably a little bit thick with humidity, but dinner on the patio, a whole different story. Temperatures definitely warm, but the humidity is gone. We'll see when it comes back next.
All right, Ben. And an alert about a fuel spill in a Macomb County drain that officials are calling significant and troubling. Hi, Doc.
New research finds something millions of young Americans are doing may be increasing the risk of COVID-19. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Next, I'll show you the risky behavior raising major concerns.